just play a little Kentucky blues, you know. Yeah.
Welcome today. We're going to be looking at the House of Tone pickups made proudly in the UK by Matthew over there at House of Tone. So direct any questions or comments you've got towards him or towards myself and we'll get your answers. But great hand-wound, handmade pickups. And to do that with us today, I've employed some help, if you will. But we've got the master of tone over here, Greg Martin from the Kentucky Headhunters.
Hello.
There we go, yeah.
Oh, I'm looking over here, right?
You do this one now.
Hello, I'm from Kentucky. And we don't want you to get confused when we talk about UK over here in Kentucky. We're not talking about University of Kentucky. We're talking about United Kingdom.
There we go.
That's where the pickups proudly come from.
Proudly.
Right? Yes. Nothing against
Royal Majesty.
Nothing against basketball, either, by the way.
True.
So,
that could be.
What got you into music? I know. What's happening?
So yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I've been doing good, man. Not
yeah,
bad.
no, right?
Not bad. We got my manager here today.
That's right.
She's over here checking, making sure that you ask the proper questions and
yes,
things
absolutely.
like that. It's good seeing you again.
It was good seeing you. We caught up a little bit at NAM.
We did for a minute, didn't we?
Yeah, and you went to Gibson, I saw. And,
I did. It's funny, as you know, 3 years ago, Gibson did the CC15.
Sure.
And then there's some changes going on with Gibson, which I think it's a good thing.
Positive.
Positive.
Yeah.
And I was asked to come down and hang out, and hey, man, they had a good spread of food, and there was a lot of guitars to look at, and had a great time. Plus, I got to see you and a lot of old friends down there. It was great.
So we're going to maybe see some more of the 15s roll out?
You know, that conversation has been put out there, and I can't say they will, but who knows? Because they're still, they never really finished that run.
Right.
Honestly, they never finished the run. And that's not dogging Gibson by no means, you know, but they did well with it. But there's still room to do a few more. So it could happen. Yeah. Could happen. So Gibson, just get on the ball, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see them headed in a positive direction.
Yeah, I think things are positive. We want to see Gibson do well. Yeah. You know.
Well, speaking of positive directions, we'll go on in and talk to House of Tone
box.
I know, right? What's in the box? Guess what's in the box?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the box happens to be empty today. And the reason it's empty is because it's loaded. The pickups are now loaded into this fender strap here, right? And so what we're looking at is a set from House of Tone. And these are the 1960 strap types. And so our outputs here, the bridge is at 6.25K.
Yep.
Middle's at 6.2, and the neck is at 6.2. So
so they're all 6.2s.
Yeah, so I'd say they're right at the vintage where you want them to be.
Yeah. You don't want them
sweet
too high.
spot.
Yeah, I mean the funny thing is, Eric, you know, back in the 70s, because I won't bring up the company's name because they were one of the first boutique, if you could use that word.
That word loosely.
You know, back around 75, there was a company out of New York that taught us that let's get some overwound pickups, you know, and wow, you know. Yeah. And we were buying some of those Strat pickups that were probably putting out way up there. I mean, you get past 8 or 9, I mean, that's okay, that's fine, but you get into a lot more darkness, and Strats don't. You gotta have that. You lose that chiminess.
You want the chiming, the quack, and
absolutely. And Matthew and the House of Tone guys, they understand that. I'm sure they would do either way, but most of their pickups are unpotted, I would assume. I'm sure by request they would do potted pickups.
If that's what you wanted.
If that's what you wanted. But I think, for me, I like the unpotted pickups and the lower wound to me, it's like taking a microphone when you pot a pickup and laying a rag over it.
Yeah, it muffles.
A little bit. Do you think
I agree with
thought
that.
about that?
I agree with that. Well, it's like with the PAF. You can go back and get which House of Tone also makes.
They make great
PAFs.
and I've heard those.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between potted and unpotted, in my opinion.
There is. So. And I think, and I'm not saying. And some of the old PAF pickups are microphonic. Some of them, I'm not talking about overly microphonic. And you can pick up and you can talk from them. Yeah. And there's a beauty to that. There
is.
But of course you don't want them too microphonic where they're just squealing all the time. But my history with Matthew and the company came. Probably around, I may be off a few months, but it was about this time, 2016. About the time we went to UK for the first time, we were contacted from Matthew and another fellow by the name of Luke, and wanted to know if we need any pickups. And of course, I've got this one Strat. It's a 74 Strat that I've never been really completely happy with the pickups on it. As you know, some people will swear by the 70s Strats and things, and some people swear they weren't very good, you know. And so I had them wind me up a set, but I ended up using the set that they wound for the 74 in another guitar, a 56 reissue, which no longer have. I got the pickups. They're going. So, but they are going to go into the 74 now for sure. Right. So, but anyway, they wound me a set, and they're great pickups. As a matter of fact, I did a video for them from the road last year. I think I was up in Canada somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah, they're great pickups. And now we're not turning up real loud today, and we're not running big Marshalls, but just listen. I mean, it's good tone.
It can be nice and buttery.
And I'm turned down too.
Yeah, you were turned down.
We're playing through a...
Yeah, that's
Of course, that's without the pick, you know.
I guess I was gonna say we are using a 56 champ, and then we got a little Walter in here. So tweed amps.
Good amps. We're not using no pedals. We're just straight in, you know. And I mean, the tone's there. When the tone is there. You know, when you crank it up, it's going to be there even more for you.
Yeah, we've got a little hum, but we're also under some fluorescence here today.
That's true. That's true. There's also flying saucers around here. People don't.
That's true.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you've been on the road too long. Yeah. We're at an old radio station that's been here since probably the 40s, I guess.
Yeah, I'm glad they allowed us to come in today, though.
Yeah, they're good folks.
That's awesome. They are. They're solid folks.
But anyway, these, like I say, this is the vintage set, right? The 60s, you say the 60s, and
absolutely.
You know, they wind. They'll do anything that you want. I'm sure they would do you an overwound if you want to go back to the super distortion.
Yeah. Well, the first encounter I had with them was I installed a special order set for Charles that you recommended, and those were the Sweet Teas.
Yeah.
And that set, is incredible. If you're looking for a Stevie Ray sound,
that's a great tone.
They nail it.
Can't beat that. Yeah,
they nail it.
It's a great tone.
And so, if anybody out there's doing that, you call and order House Tone, or if you're U.S., call me. And we'll get you a set of Sweet Teas if that's what you're after.
They sound like that sound to be fun. Now, how are they? What's the output on those?
I believe those are slightly hotter than the vintage. Not way out of range. I want to say they're in the mid 7s.
Oh, when you say Sweet Tea, is that like Texas?
Yeah, there you go.
Sweet Texas.
Yeah, Sweet Texas Teas. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they do a kind of a Hendrix set as well? Or?
I believe so. Yeah. They do the Sweet Teas. There's a Hendrix set, which I'll plead guilty to not remembering the name of that right now.
That's okay.
But there's also of course, there's the vintage stuff, and then they do PAFs. And they've got some other stuff that's coming out right now that is.
They do understand PAFs. Well, I've had talks with Matthew about that, and Luke as well. And they'll do whatever. I'm sure P90s or wherever you want to go with it, man. You know, they'll do it. So.
Thank you.